Well, I never knew these years would fly by. And me and Alicia started out in this night, we was not young man, 24 years old. Here we are old men today, 70-something years old. Man, that's amazing.
Yeah. That's a blessing.
But we hung in there, and this is something all of us got to learn to have, tolerance and patience with one another. And if you don't have that, can't no relationship you have will work. Husband and wife, friend, if you don't have tolerance and patience for one another, that relationship ain't gonna last. So we hung with one another 46 years. And I think that's a great mission. I tolerated a lot of stuff. I stayed there. I didn't leave. I could have left. But I said, I'm gonna make do the right thing. Stay here, seek peace and pursue it. That's what I did. And look what I've done in there. So as long as we teach the ways of the Almighty, I think we'll continue to grow.
Hallelujah.
And be blessed. So I'm going to start with Exodus 20. And Elohim spake all these words, saying, I am Yahweh thy Elohim, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other deity before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or is in the earth beneath, or in the waters under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, thy Elohim, am a jealous Elohim. Visit the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and show mercy to thousands of them that love me, and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahweh thy Elohim in vain, for Yahweh will not hold them guiltless to take his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shall I labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath for Yahweh thy Elohim. In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yahweh made the heavens, the earth, the sea, and all there is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore Yah blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which Yahweh thy Elohim giveth thee. Thou shalt not murder.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear witness against thy neighbor.
Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, or anything that's thy neighbor's. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Yah is righteous.
Yah's mercy endures forever. Now, you know, when Almighty gave us these laws were given to us to make us civilized. And the whole world is going to be civilized in the near future. Because all nations are going to have to live according to the ways and laws of Yah. Like Mordecai just broke down. No more self-ruling. The nation's not going to have what they call a system of democracy. One man, one vote. Ain't going to be like that no more. The Almighty's way is perfect. And the Almighty did not have no system like that. Right. One man, one vote. Do you realize how far he would have got? Well, you see how far he got? We're giving them the law. What if he had gave them the freedom to vote? Or you want to keep my Sabbath day? What do you think our people would have done?
No.
What if he gave them the right to vote on whether they want to eat swine or not? What do you think they would have chosen? To eat the swine. That's why they couldn't self-govern themselves. And I try to tell people that all the time. See, one of our biggest problems, a lot of us become jealous and envious of one another. We have certain people that I want to call their name, they know what I'm talking about. A lot of times I try to tell them something, they didn't believe me. They didn't trust what I said. And I told them the Almighty did not have a democracy form of government. I guess that's the first time they heard that. But if you sit down and read this book, you see it. He did not allow them to self-rule, self-govern. He's the man. That's why he gave us the law. And we are a people of the covenant. That's why when you look at Exodus 24, and see, people doubt the messenger. And all the messengers do is tell you what the book says. In reality, you're doubting your creator. I don't believe that. See, some people have a greater insight on things than others do. And those that don't become jealous of those they do. That's why Korah was jealous of Moses. And you're going to have that problem when you're dealing with black folks. Jealousy and envy, it's always going to be there. I've seen it. It existed and it still existed. You're going to always have jealousy amongst our people. It goes back to the days of Jacob. When he gave his son that coat, all the other sons were jealous of him, and they wanted to kill him. That's what jealousy and envy does. How many of y'all familiar with that story? Joseph gave, Jacob gave, who was it, Joseph? Yeah, Joseph, that coat, and his brother envied him for that. Jealous of him. So you're going to always have people that, and you got to watch them. Sometimes they're very popular people you least suspect. I've never been envious or jealous of Alicia. I've always admired that man. He's always been my teacher. I never envied that man, because I grew from him. Now watch the said here in Exodus 24. And then 19. Let's see, 19. Let's look at the th chapter. Let's look at start the first verse.
Exodus 19, verse 1. In the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai, for they were departed from Rephidim, and were come to the desert of Sinai, and had pitched in the wilderness. And there...
No, let me start. I'm going to cut this short. Start at the 5th verse.
Exodus 19, verse 5. Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth.
All this is about Israel now. That's why other nations read this, they come jealous. Because Israel became that peculiar treasure to the Almighty. And they don't like this when they read this. They hate us and the Almighty because the Almighty chose us above all other nations. See, these other nations hate us for that. They're jealous of us. All right, keep reading.
Verse 6. And you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests, and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. And Moshe came and called the elders of the people, and laid before their faces all these words.
Now, notice he called for all the elders, right? That's showing the importance of the elders in the congregation.
That's right.
Very important. That's why you're supposed to rise up before the elders. That's what the Almighty said. I didn't say it. But why he said the elders? Why put so much on the elders? Because they've been where we going. They've done what we doing. They've been there and done that. So that's why you always go to an elder. You got a problem with your wife, friend, or whatever. Go and talk to an elder. Now some elders make the situation worse than it was. You better watch whatever you talk to.
Right.
Yeah, both of y'all commit suicide. You better watch who you associate with. Believe me. And Moses came and called for the elders of the people and laid before their faces all these words. See, the elders, the older you get, you done been through all that rock and roll stuff that the young people are going through. Young people think they're missing out on something if they keep the law. You ain't missing nothing. Because Solomon said everything out there other than the laws of the Almighty is nothing but vanity. And vexation of spirit. There's no profit in the things that's out there in the world. The most important thing on the earth today, it is that which leads to salvation, and that's to obey the Almighty and keep His commandments. That's the sole purpose of living. All this other stuff is just vanity. That's all it is. Vexation of spirits. But our people, being foolish as they are, and have the mentality that they have, they see a value in that. See, folly is joy to them that are destitute of wisdom. So if you don't have wisdom, folly is going to be a thrill to you. But that's why Solomon said, I'm going to tell you something. This time I've been teaching on for months. Look at Proverbs 2. These lying preachers have been misleading our people for so long, they don't know the right path to go down. And a lot of us are heading in that same direction, the path of destruction. Solomon said there's a way that seems right to a man, but the ends thereof are the ways of death, and that's the way we've been misled. We thought other people doing stuff, going to church. Yeah, it must be right, everybody else doing it. And that's why the Almighty gave us a law that thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil.
That's right.
But we did. Monkey see, monkey do. And we did everything they did. When I was a kid, I knew something was wrong with all this white stuff. I knew something wrong. Everybody white. Every time I looked at a picture about heaven, people going to heaven, people in heaven, they were all white. Little white babies with the wings flapping on them. Old white women, old white men with feathers in their back. Where's the black at? Ain't seen a black man yet in heaven.
Ain't gonna see no other there.
Up there saying the white folks with a fan. That's the only thing I saw black. That's why my teacher, the man that taught me, Alicia Hannah, Elder Hannah, he taught me to love black, talk black, sleep black, walk black, marry black, bear black babies. And he rubbed it in on me. And I can see now, because we need that. We need to revolutionize our mind.
That's right.
Our thinking. Because black is beautiful.
Yes,
We've been told it was ugly, mean, nasty, dirty, filthy. But black is beautiful. Black is beautiful. And white don't want, he wants you to be ashamed of how you look, what you look like. If you're black, get back. I was taught that. The brown stick around. But if you're black, get back. And that's what we were taught. We hated our skin color. We hated to look in the mirror like that guy at the watermelon man. He looked in the mirror and thought he was still black. Had a fit. We're crazy. Because he was black. But now we know better. We know better. I'm black and I'm proud. The blacker the better. Ain't nothing to be ashamed of. The watch what Solomon said to some people don't like to read these Proverbs of Solomon. That's why they're not in the class today. These are the greatest writings ever written by a human being. We got to realize this man was so wise. Kings from around the world come to hear about this man's wisdom, his smartness. Ain't that something? They heard of this thing around the world. That's, I got to go and meet this guy. Ain't nobody that smart. The wisest man that ever lived is our Father. All of us can claim he's our Father. King Solomon. Not only Solomon, but the Almighty also. He wrote all of this stuff. Now watch what it said. See, we're so used to being caught up in foolishness. This stuff right here is just like trying to teach somebody about engineering, wiring, you know, electronics and stuff like that. Something you don't know nothing about. So you don't have time for it. But that's the same way it is about wisdom and destruction. Solomon said wisdom is too high for a fool. What that mean? In other words, a fool can't see himself doing the law. I can't see myself doing that. You see what I'm saying? That's why Solomon also said, give instructions to a wise man, and that man will yet become wiser. Go back to what we said earlier. Now, if you tell people you come in and don't talk while the class is in session, you become much wiser. Don't talk. If you know the rules ought to not to talk, what do you do? Do you talk? No, you don't talk. That's why we get in trouble. That's why we can't get along with one another. Who do you think he is? Well, if you know what the rule is, I go on my job, and they got the rules and regulations up on the wall board. Don't do this. Don't spend too much time in the toilet, whatever. Don't do this. Where you got to wear shoes and shirt. I follow those rules, and I don't have no problem. I can go in there, and they say no shoes, no service. My shoes gonna be on me, so I can get service. Now why would I go in there doing the opposite? And no, I ain't gonna get no service. That's where we are as a people, backwards. That's why we have so much difficulties and problems getting along with one another. Now watch what Solomon says. 6th verse, Proverbs 2.
Proverbs 2, verse 6.
Please pay attention. Y'all need to understand this. Like I said, what y'all learning today, all nations got to learn. And you got to jump on it. But say the importance of this message, this knowledge. Now watch what it says there.
For Yahweh giveth wisdom. Out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding.
It all comes from him. That's why I used to always focus on him. This ain't about no more race. This is all about you and him. He gives wisdom. Out of his mouth what? Cometh understanding. Out of his mouth cometh understanding. We trust in man, we trust in our friends, but we don't trust in Almighty. And that's why our forefathers made an error. They didn't lean on him. They leaned on one another. Walked after their own counsels. That's all throughout the book. We trust in our friends more than we trust in Almighty. And I've seen this happen many days. And I got oftentimes told the class in there, if a person's friend don't like you, they fall out with you, they're not going to like you. And I've seen that happen many days. So you got to consider the person that they don't like, what have they done to you? What has that person done to you? Nothing. But why you don't like them? I don't know. Just being stupid. have no. And that's the reason that you don't hate your neighbor. Why? Because the law says don't. And don't let nobody cause you to hate your neighbor. That's against the law. The scripture says he that despises his neighbor sinners. You're sinning against the Creator. So don't let somebody else cause you to dislike somebody just because they don't like them. Black folks are good at that. Good at experts at that. Come on, let me tell you about Mordecai. What about Mordecai? Did you know he's so-and-so? So what? What they got to do with me? And that's what y'all ask. What they got to do with me? Mordecai's a drug dealer. How you know? I heard, that's what I heard. Are you sure? Man, I tell you, it came through the fake grapevine. That's how we begin to trust and say, we don't do what the book say do. The book says don't believe every word somebody tells you. And it also says one witness not rise up against a man for any sin. But yet we believe anything somebody come and tell us. Right?
That's right.
Because we've been wrong all our lives. Now we got to get that correction. So we can all go home. I'm tired of America. I'm tired of them taxing me.
Amen.
These low countries running away with interest rates and stuff, they get you that the rest of your life. And that's what a lot of people are doing now. So we have to turn back to Almighty because he said the day comes, we're going to have to depend on him. Not Charlie.
That's right.
Because that money is going to become obsolete. You got a pocket full of money and you can't do nothing with it. All this money. You can't do a darn thing with it. I better keep it just in case. America's falling. The system is falling. It's going to get worse. You might as well face up to it. You got to learn in life, you got to take the bitter with the sweet.
That's right.
That's life. Everything's not going to always be smooth sailing. That Almighty, He's the most merciful and gracious God that ever existed. But He means what He says when He says something. If He say, I'm going to do this, if you don't do that, and if you don't do that, He's going to do what He said He's going to do. He's a God of His word. He told our forefathers in Deuteronomy 28 that He put out before them life and death. Life if you live according to the law, death if you don't live according to the law. What do you think our people chose? They chose death. That's why we're here in America today. That's exactly why we're here in America. We don't want to make the same mistake they made.
That's right.
I'm going to show you why we're here. Let's look at Isaiah 59. It's one of the best examples that I can think of. Isaiah 59 chapter. A lot of us are in denial. That's why only remedy is going back home. So the only remedy are going to submit themselves. Show you how corrupt we as our forefathers were, and we're their seed. A seed of evildoers. Isaiah 59, start the first verse.
Isaiah 59 verse 1. Behold, Yahweh's hand is not shortened that it cannot save, neither his ear heavy that it cannot hear. But your iniquities have separated between you and your Elohim, and your sins have hid his face from you, that he will not hear.
So that's why he didn't hear our people during the days that they were lynching them on the plantations and stuff like that. He didn't hear them. He wouldn't pay no attention to them. Because their sin, even though he told them, he warned them in Deuteronomy 28 chapter. What would happen to them? They would go to a land that is not theirs, and they should serve strangers in this land and other gods. And that's what our people were doing. Let's look at Jeremiah 19:16 real quick. Let's see, that's 16. Yeah, Jeremiah 16. Watch. I'm show you what I'm talking about. Jeremiah 16. Start 9th verse. Jeremiah 16, 9th verse.
Verse 9. For thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, behold, I will cause to cease out of this place in your eyes and in your days the voice of mirth and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt show this people all these words, and they shall say unto thee, wherefore have Yahweh pronounced all this great evil against us? Or what is our iniquity? Or what is our sin that we have committed against Yahweh our Elohim? Then shalt thou say unto them, because your fathers have forsaken me, saith Yahweh, and have walked after other deities, and have served them, and have worshipped them, and have forsaken me, and have not kept my law. And you have done worse than your fathers, for behold, you walk every one after the imagination of his evil heart, and they that may not hearken.
No, a lot of people do this, now they realize that they're walking out the imaginations of the heart. Like I said, the heart utters perverse things to you. But you don't have to embrace those thoughts.
That's right.
You're supposed to hate those same thoughts. But once you embrace them, it's going to control you. And you're going to be out of control. You have no control. So that's what they did. They walked after the imaginations of their own thoughts, not according to the laws of the Almighty. They did what they wanted to do. After the imagination of the evil heart, that they what? May not hearken unto me. And that's what a lot of us do. When he say you should be here on the Sabbath day and you don't come, what do you think you just did? There you go. You're walking out your imagination up the way. This is the way I see it. I don't have to do that. Yes, you do. According to the law. All of us are obligated to keep the law. When you disobey the law, you just been deceived by your heart. You just been deceived by your heart. The scripture says, trust in Almighty and lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path by his law. He never tell you to hate your neighbor, right?
That's right.
No, you'll never find that. So if you do, you're not following him. You're not letting him guide your path. So this is what they did. All right, what's we at, brother?
Verse 13.
Okay.
Therefore will I cast you out of this land.
That's why we're not in the land today. Because of that, serving other gods, doing all the bad things that they were doing. Therefore, when I cast you out of this land,
into a land that you know not.
We didn't know nothing about America. Our forefathers didn't know nothing about America. But that's what we are today, in a land we knew nothing about. All right, keep reading.
Neither you nor your fathers, and there shall you serve other deities day and night.
That's what we're doing. We're here today serving. What? Read that again. I didn't say that.
Neither you nor your fathers, and there shall you serve other deities day and night.
That's what our people are doing, serving the God of the Muslims, the God of the Christians. That's what they're doing today. That's prophecy being fulfilled.
That's right.
That's why you got to have spiritual man to be able to break these scriptures down. Anybody just can't read this book and break it down like it's supposed to be. Because they're going to give you a bad understanding. So it takes certain people to be able to break these scriptures down to you. Everybody can't do that. So I'm here to do it, and I'm breaking it down like it's supposed to be. The Almighty is not a man that he should lie, nor the Son of Man that he should repent. We're doing, this is prophecy being fulfilled. That's why we're in America today. Who are we serving? Who are our people serving? Christ or Yahweh?
Christ.
They're serving Christ. The majority, the masses, that's what good by the masses of the people. They're serving Christ. Prophecy being